Alright, so I'm reading Opposing Viewpoints series called White Collar Crime. And the first chapter is titled, it's really about the importance of opposing viewpoints. So perhaps every generation experiences a period of time in which the populace seems especially polarized, starkly divided on the important issues of the day, and gravitating towards the far ends of the political spectrum and away from the consensus facilitating middle ground. The world that enter into as active, engaged citizens is deeply fragmented in just this way. Issues relating to terrorism, immigration, women's rights, minority rights, race relations, healthcare, taxation, wealth and poverty, the environment, policing, military intervention, the proper role of government, in some ways, perennial issues that are freshly and uniquely urgent and vital with each new generation, are currently roiling the world. If we are to foster a knowledgeable, responsible, active, and engaged citizenry among today's youth, we must provide them with an intellectual, interpretive, and critical thinking tools and experience necessary to make sense of the world around them and of the all-important debates and arguments that inform it. After all, the outcome of these debates will in large measure determine the future course, prospects, and outcomes of the world and its peoples, particularly its youth. If they are to become successful members of society and productive and informed citizens, students need to learn how to evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of someone else's argument, how to shift fact from opinion and fallacy, and how to test the relative merits and validity of their own opinions against the known facts and the best possible available information. The landmark series Opposing Viewpoints has been providing students with such critical thinking skills and exposure to the debates surrounding society's most urgent contemporary issues for many years, and it continues to serve this essential role with undiminished commitment, care, and rigor. The key to the series is success in achieving its goal of sharpening students' critical thinking and analytic skills resides in its title, Opposing Viewpoints. In every intriguing, compelling, and engaging volume of this series, readers are presented with the widest possible spectrum of distinct viewpoints, expert opinions, and informed argumentation and commentary, supplied by some of today's leading academics, thinkers, analysts, politicians, policymakers, economists, activists, change agents, and advocates. Every opinion and argument anthologized here is presented objectively and accorded respect. There is no editorializing in any introductory text or in the arrangement and order of the pieces. No piece is included as a straw man, an easy ideological target for cheap point scoring. As wide and inclusive a range of viewpoints as possible is offered, with no privileging of one particular political ideology or cultural perspective over another. It is left to each individual reader to evaluate the relative merits of each argument as he or she sees it, and with the use of ever-growing critical thinking skills, and grapple with his or her own assumptions, beliefs, and perspectives to determine how convincing or successful any given argument is, and how the reader's own stance on the issue may be modified or altered in response to it. This process is facilitated and supported by volume, chapter, and selection introductions that provide readers with the essential context they need to begin engaging with the spotlighted issues, with the debates surrounding them, and with their own perhaps shifting and nascent opinions on them. In addition, guided reading and discussion questions encourage readers to determine the author's point of view and purpose, interrogate and analyze the various arguments and their rhetoric and structure, evaluate the argument's strengths and weaknesses, test their claims against available facts and evidence, judge the validity of the reasoning, and bring into clearer, sharper focus the reader's own beliefs and conclusions, and how they may differ from or align with those in the collection or those of their classmates. Research has shown that reading comprehension skills improve dramatically when students are provided with compelling, intriguing, relevant, discussable texts. The subject matter of these collections could not be more compelling, intriguing, or urgently relevant to today's students and the world they are poised to inherit. The anthologized articles and the reading and discussion questions that are included with them also provide the basis for stimulating, lively, and passionate classroom debates. Students who are compelled to anticipate objections to their own argument and identify the flaws in those of an opponent read more carefully, think more critically, and steep themselves in relevant context, facts, and information more thoroughly. In short, using discussable text of the kind provided in every single volume of the Opposing Viewpoints series encourages close reading, facilitates reading comprehension, fosters research, strengthens critical thinking, and greatly enlivens and energizes classroom discussion and participation. The entire learning process is deepened, extended, and strengthened. For all of these reasons, Opposing Viewpoints continues to be exactly the right resource at exactly the right time, when we most need to provide readers with the critical thinking tools and skills that will not only serve them well in school, but also in their careers and their daily lives as decision-making family members, community members, and citizens. This series encourages respectful engagement with and analysis of opposing viewpoints and fosters a resulting increase in the strength and rigor of one's own opinions and stances. As such, it helps make readers future ready, and that readiness will pay rich dividends for the readers themselves, for the citizenry, for our society, and for the world at large. And that chapter ends on page 13 of the paper text.